What's up, everybody? The allergies are kicking my ass right now, so anyone else feeling the same ass beating by the allergies? But aside from that, I think we did it, guys. I think we won because we had this monster who was ruining our lives for the past couple years, but I can't remember her name, so please help me remember. Is it COVID or Karen? But yeah, people think COVID is gone, and I don't think it necessarily is gone because honestly, COVID is like a new iPhone. If you wait in line long enough, you'll get a new one. You're gonna get that COVID-19 Pro Max S. My roommate almost got carjacked recently, and I say almost because the car thief couldn't drive stick. And he ended up just leaving the car and running away. And it got me thinking, what would I do in that situation? Because my philosophy is, if you're gonna do something, do it right. And so, if the carjacker can't drive stick, to help my fellow man, I would teach him how to drive stick. I keep a tripod in my car. We could do a how-to video on how to carjack somebody. So I think of myself as a collector. I like to collect rare items and hats and stuff like that. And I had to stop showing my collection to people because they look at it and they call me a hoarder and then they leave. They say, bro, throw that box away. Like, no, it's a nice box. I want to keep it. And as a collector, I want to try to collect as many pronouns as I can, right? So bear with me on this one. I am a straight, chubby nerd from the hood. So my pronouns are he, him, they, them, geek, nerd, gangster, thug. Yeah, I've been a nerd my whole life. Back in high school, I was the guy who would have been stuffed inside of lockers if I could fit in lockers. Not because I'm fat, they just felt small to me, okay? I have this friend who tells me I look like a nerd who gets laid, and that's true about 30% of the time. Because one of the things I love, one of my nerd fandoms is Star Wars, and I like to use Star Wars metaphors in bed, right? When I find a woman who wants to hook up with me, that's A New Hope. When we try anal, it's the Phantom Menace. When I give her a facial, it's Attack of the Clones. Unless she swallows, then she's a Sarlacc pit. I recently hooked up with a woman and she told me that she felt like I was nervous the whole night. And I said to her, well, why do you think I was nervous? And she goes, well, I had to take your hand and put it on my titties. And I was like, what titties? I got bigger titties than you. She had the John Cena titties, that you can't see me titties. It killed last week, so. So I'm originally from New York and I am Puerto Rican. And one of the things about being a Puerto Rican from New York that is common for my generation is I can't speak Spanish. And that's why people don't call me a Puerto Rican, they call me a Puerto Ricant. And that's why I had to quit my job at the auto parts store because most of my customers were mechanics who were mostly Mexican who can't speak English. And they approached me and they say, "Tu habla español?" And I was like, "No, I don't know Spanish." And they questioned that, you don't speak Spanish? No, but I think you speak pretty good English. So stop wasting my time and make this fucking sale. My mom, she's from the hood, so when I would misbehave as a child, she knew how to beat some ass. Like, my mother had an arsenal of weapons to beat our ass. She had the shirt hanger, the belt, the wire from the cable box, and the Hispanic kryptonite, the chancleta. Those of you who don't know, that's slipper in Spanish. But the chancleta is like a double-edged sword because she would have to chase you around the house with one shoe on, and that's probably why I never got Legos as a kid. Have you ever stepped on a Lego barefoot? See, we would plant that shit like landmines. I think the real reason why I never got Legos as a kid, though, is because they're expensive and we were poor, so. I got Legos once. Back in elementary school, we had pen pals. For those of you who are not familiar, it's when you write a letter to someone and they send you a letter back, and that was before, Facebook and email and all that bullshit. So we had some pen pals, they sent us Legos, we sent them a thank you letter. We didn't hear back from them. Probably because they thought we were cheap, when really we were just poor. If you looked at my physique and assumed that I worked in IT, you'd be an asshole. But you'd also be right. But still an asshole. I work for a call center. I work from home currently. And so it's hard to tell people why I was late to work when I just roll out of bed and jump on the computer. And I kind of hate my job as a call center rep because some of these customers, they just whine and complain, and I average about 10 calls a day, which is not a lot for an 8-hour shift. And so I think back about previous jobs that I've had that were worse than this one. Like I used to work at 7-Eleven, and I always wondered certain things that you learn on the job. For example, why is there 2 sections where they cook the hot dogs? And I found out the rear section cooks them, the front section keeps them warm. And so they would tell me, you gotta move them to the front or they're gonna explode. And I'm like, explode? Like, explode? In the name of science, I need to test this. In the name of minimum wage, I ain't cleaning that shit up. Keep in mind, I'm testing this in the name of science, but my degree is in performing arts, which means I'm currently failing at my degree. So I would try the experiment and they'd say to me, they're not gonna like explode, they just get thicker. And I thought, 7-Eleven really needs to rethink their morals because I've never heard anyone complain about receiving a thick wiener. Yeah, how much time I got?
4 minutes.
4 minutes, Jesus Christ. So, I recently ended a relationship with this woman. Her name was Alexa, and it was ironic that we had an Alexa in the house. So every time I would talk to her, my Alexa would respond like, "Hey Alexa, can you come here? I am not a real person, Anthony, so I cannot walk over there. I'm not talking to you. Hey Alexa, what do you want for dinner? I am not a real person, Anthony, so I cannot eat anything. Again, I'm not talking to you. Alexa, shut the fuck up. Who the fuck are you talking to like that? No, not you, babe, the Amazon thing." So she left me and I got rid of the Alexa for a Google Assistant. And I met someone else that I hope works out. Her name is Karen, so maybe it'll work out, maybe it won't. So I'm noticing on social media there's these new, everything is an idea, everything gets invented. And I think whether it's Gen Z or the Gen after me is lazy and stupid to believe in everything. There's a new shoe called Kizit. It's a hands-free shoe. You just slide your foot in it and it should like automatically fit your foot. How hard is it for people to tie their shoes now? Like they act like tying your shoe is like disarming a bomb. Like I'm fat and I can tie my shoes just fine. So I don't know what is the problem. So I'm gonna look at my notes on my watch because I don't have them anymore. So bear with me. No, fuck it, I got another joke, I got one. I'm gonna talk about my ex real quick because she broke my heart and she's a bitch and I don't care. She's not gonna see this anyway, so. Officially, she moved on and I couldn't accept it at the time. Unofficially, she traded me in for a redneck who had a medical condition. She told me all the secrets like she shouldn't have. As a kid, he had some kind of cancer, testicle issue thing, so he can't ejaculate, right? And I said to her, you traded me for a human sex toy. He cuddles with you and he gets you off and that's it. He can't give you a family, he can't provide for you with kids, but I can still ejaculate because I'm a man and he's not anymore. And it got me thinking, I kind of did the same thing because any woman that I hook up with, most likely, just like him, they ain't gonna come. I'm done. Thank you, right?